Welcome back to our channel. You guys, today is a beautiful day, but honestly my brain is entirely fried from staring at these latest developments and I just need to vent about what is going down. Grab a coffee or whatever you need because we have a lot of ground to cover today and it is messy. So let's just get right into it because I am honestly still reeling from what I just watched. And I know you guys are probably screaming at your screens too. We all knew that Brooke Logan Forrester was not going to just quietly accept defeat. I mean, when has she ever? But what she is doing right now is just next level chaotic, and I am honestly kind of here for the drama, even though it is making me pull my hair out. Let's back up a second. We all saw that Brooke completely failed to convince Ridge to give her the co-CEO spot. She made her big pitch. She tried to use all her usual persuasive tactics on Ridge, trying to get him to push Steffy out of the chair so she could take over and save Hope's line. And Ridge, for once in his life, actually stood his ground and said no. He told her he wasn't going to demote his own daughter. And you could just see the absolute fury and desperation in Brooke's eyes. She was crushed, but Brooke being Brooke, she doesn't just walk away. No, she decides to go completely rogue. And this is where things get so wild, because she realizes she can't win Ridge over. Brooke decides she needs an ally on the inside. Someone who is just as angry at Steffy as she is. Enter Zende Forrester Domings. Honestly, I have to take a minute to just talk about Zende because I feel like I'm getting whiplash from his storyline. A few episodes ago, he was having an absolute meltdown in the CEO office with Carter. Just totally losing his mind because Steffy shelved his entire collection for Hope for the future. He poured his heart and soul into those designs, and Steffy just basically tossed them in a closet and locked the door. So Zende is furious. He is a wounded animal right now. He feels completely unappreciated and disrespected by his own family. And Brooke sees this. She sees Zende fuming and she smells blood in the water. She knows exactly how to play this, so she pulls Zende aside. And I can just picture the scene in my head, them standing in some dark corner of the Forrester design room, looking over their shoulders. Brooke starts whispering in his ear. She promises to take him to the absolute top of the fashion world if he just helps her overthrow Steffy. She tells him he deserves better. She strokes his ego. And Zende actually falls for it. Or maybe he doesn't just fall for it. Maybe he is just so blinded by his own anger that he doesn't even care that he's making a deal with the devil. Actually, yeah, he's a grown man. He should know better than to get involved in a Forrester-Logan civil war. But he agrees. He agrees to help Brooke take down Steffy. So they start this underground campaign. And when I say underground, I mean they are playing dirty. They start actively working to prove that Steffy is completely incompetent at managing Forrester Creations. I don't even know the full extent of what they were doing, but you can imagine. Probably planting seeds of doubt with the board members. Maybe messing with production schedules or conveniently losing important memos. Just doing whatever they can to make Steffy look like she is cracking under the pressure of being co-CEO. It is such a massive betrayal. Zende is literally sabotaging his own family's company just because he's mad about his sketches. And Brooke is risking her entire marriage to Ridge just to get a fancy title. What were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? But here is the thing that Brooke and Zende completely forgot. They forgot who they are dealing with. Steffy Forrester Finnegan is not some amateur. She is her father's daughter. She is Eric Forrester's granddaughter. She has been running this company for years, and she knows every single trick in the book. Steffy is one step ahead of them the entire time. And this is the part that had me literally jumping off my couch. Steffy realizes exactly what Brooke and Zende are doing. She sees the little inconsistencies. She notices the whispers. And instead of just confronting them right away, she decides to set a trap, a massive, career-ending trap. Steffy gave by Brooke. She sets her up in a professional ethics scandal involving leaking trade secrets. Let me repeat that, leaking trade secrets. This isn't just some petty office gossip. This is corporate espionage. This is the kind of stuff that gets you sued into oblivion or thrown out of the industry forever. I'm trying to piece together how Steffy pulled this off because it is just so brilliant and so cold. She probably created some fake, highly confidential documents. Maybe a fake business plan for a new couture line or a dummy contract with a massive supplier. And she left it somewhere where she knew Brooke or Zende would find it. She dangled the bait right in front of them. And Brooke, being so desperate to make Steffy look bad, probably took those documents and leaked them. Maybe she leaked them to a rival company or to the press, trying to frame Steffy for losing control of sensitive information, but Steffy had it all tracked. She probably had digital watermarks on the files or security footage of them taking the bait. So now the trap is sprung, Steffy has the undeniable proof. She has Brooke dead to rights on a massive professional ethics violation. And this is where the story just gets incredibly dark and psychological. Steffy corners Brooke. She doesn't just fire her. She gives her a choice, and it is the most brutal, impossible choice I have seen on this show in a long time. Steffy tells Brooke that she can either take the fall for the entire scandal and leave Forrester Creations in absolute, total disgrace, or she can sacrifice Zende. She can throw Zende completely under the bus, say he acted alone, and save herself. I mean, wow, just wow. Let's really break down what this means for a second because my mind is spinning. If Brooke chooses to sacrifice Zende, she is destroying a young man's career. A man she manipulated and promised to take to the top. She would be proving every single terrible thing Steffy has ever said about her. That she is selfish, that she uses people, that she only cares about herself. And how would Ridge react to that? If he finds out Brooke ruined his nephew's career just to save her own skin, it would be the end of their marriage. But if Brooke takes the fall, if she accepts leaving Forrester in disgrace, that is her entire legacy destroyed. She would be walking out of that building as a corporate traitor. She would lose all her power, all her influence. And she would be handing Steffy the ultimate, permanent victory. This mind game is pushing Brooke to the absolute limits of her endurance. You can just imagine the scenes. Brooke pacing in her living room, crying, trying to figure a way out of this impossible corner. She thought she was the puppet master. She thought she was so smart pulling Zende into her little scheme. And now she is the one dangling on the strings. Honestly, part of me feels bad for Brooke because she is just so driven by her desire to protect Hope and her legacy. But then I remember how she actively chose to sabotage Steffy, and I just can't even find the sympathy. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And Brooke just won the grand prize of corporate destruction. And what about Zende? Does he even know he's on the chopping block right now? He's probably sitting somewhere thinking their plan is working perfectly, totally oblivious to the fact that Brooke is currently deciding whether or not to end his entire career to save herself. I really hope Zende figures it out before Brooke makes her move. Because if he finds out Brooke is going to betray him, maybe he turns around and strikes a deal with Steffy first. Oh man, the possibilities are endless. The fans on social media are going to absolutely lose their minds over this. The Steffy fans are going to be celebrating in the streets because their queen just completely outsmarted Brooke Logan. And the Brooke fans are going to be crying foul, saying Steffy went too far by setting a trap. But let's be real here. Steffy was just protecting her company. Brooke was the one who decided to launch an underground campaign. I just keep thinking about how this fits into the bigger pattern of the show. Brooke and Steffy have been at war for decades. It started over men, it moved to fashion lines, and now it is about raw corporate power. But this feels different. Usually their fights are a lot of yelling and slapping and crying. This is cold, calculated corporate warfare. This is Steffy proving that she is a CEO through and through. She didn't let her emotions dictate her response. She used logic and strategy to completely dismantle Brooke's rebellion. And Ridge. Where is Ridge in all of this? He is probably completely clueless. Just wandering around the design room, wondering why everyone looks so stressed out. When this bomb drops, Ridge is going to have to face the reality of who his wife really is. He told her no, and she tried to burn his company down in response. So what is Brooke going to do? Is she going to be selfless for once and take the hit? Or is she going to throw Zende to the wolves? I honestly don't know. Sometimes I think Brooke has a good heart deep down, but when she is backed into a corner, she goes into survival mode. And survival mode Brooke is dangerous. I am so tired just thinking about the fallout from this. The writers are really giving us everything right now. The tension, the betrayal, the impossible choices, it is peak daytime drama. I guess we are just going to have to wait and see who survives this bloodbath at Forrester Creations. But one thing is for sure, the power dynamic in that building has shifted forever. Steffy won this round, and she won it flawlessly. Okay, I need to go lie down and process all of this. Let me know what you guys think Brooke is going to do. Will she betray Zende, or will she walk away in disgrace? I'll be back later when I have more energy to deal with this mess.